So third term action here at Ben Freeley Oval, a pivotal quarter in this crucial clash in Melbourne Greyhounds Division 1, and it's immediately Howard to Ferronato. It spills back out to Howard and it's cleared by Hasler for Greensborough. They send it inside 50. The Bridges just opt to punch their way out of trouble, but it only spills to Marty Fitzgerald. Then a looping handball brings a lot of plays into action. That's a very dangerous kick, and that is exactly what it is, kicking in danger. And Christian Ferronato, one of the men you just spoke about, Tim, can get himself involved immediately with a shot on goal.
Well, I did mention his kicking efficiency, but in apprehension of the commentator's curse, I'll hold it there. But in terms of his stats, he's kicked the 8 goals in his senior career.
Ferronato looking to stamp his authority on the contest, will come in from about 45 metres out from goal. It's coming back pretty well. And he gets the important major to kick things off for the Borough. They move to 5-5-35. Hurstbridge are 5-9-39. The deficit has been reduced to 4 for the visitors.
Really important goal just for Greensborough to get that sway of momentum. Not let Hurstbridge continue on at the end of that, like they did at the end of that second half. And it's proving to be the scoring end. Thus far is the theme.
One of the youngest players out there today, Christian Ferronato. Last year's Brent Harvey medalist. As we're back in the middle again, Howard starting to get involved, and so is Ferronato. He won a holding free kick in the middle of Ben Freeley Oval. He opts to go wide with the kick towards the pavilion side. That was a good one. Mark's taken by Ben Ham. He goes towards half forward and almost getting there, and cannoning into defence is Zach McCubbin. He's okay, which is great. Boundary throwing about 50 out from the Borough goal. So maybe Greensborough, with a bit of momentum now in their favour, can sense that opportunity at the back of the pack. Still a chance. It's going to be won, though, by Hurstbridge. Fitzgerald over to the Clace, who takes 2 bounces on the wing. He goes towards half forward where Naylor marks. Very hard to stop those, but he's too far from home. Naylor called to play on with the left boot, sends it to the top of the goal square, and Barbera flew out the back. Chance here for Hurstbridge, and they get one back immediately through Will Plain. He gets his first of the afternoon. It's a 6th individual goal kicker for Hurstbridge. And they extend the lead back out to 10 points, 6-9-45 to 5-5-35.
And that was brilliant work there from Hurstbridge, just to, especially William Plain, just finding the ability to get the ball out the back of the pack and just reading the ball better than anyone else. And it's the instant response you'd want if you're a Hurstbridge fan, just stopping that Greensborough momentum from going any further and setting the lead back to 10 points, I believe.
6-9 plays 5-5. So back in the middle we go. Howard's pretty much won all the hit-outs in this term. Ferronato almost won another free kick in the middle. Said it's going to be Fisher, who got it away to Johnson, who's well up the ground. Clever handball to find O'Sullivan, and now the Borough on the attack. They send it to the top of the goal square, and then coming in from the side of the Bridges defenders, and they'll clear it away quickly. Looking for Cam Wild. Doing well to get a hand onto it, though, was Campbell Walsh. And actually stays in play momentarily. Now it's out of bounds. Between wing and half forward for Greensborough. So both sides on early.
Just the theme of this opening part of the third quarter is just the openness of the game. It was becoming very congested throughout that first half, but both teams have been able to utilise the space of this ground.
Howard again. Almost got to Ferronato again. We'll go for another stoppage. Eventually the ball back in the umpire's hands. This time grabbing it out of the ruck is Howard. That's a very wide ball. Is it too wide? It is out of bounds on the full. So it's the home side who will look to reset, and a chipping ball finds its way to Blake Fitzgerald, who's had quite a bit of it this afternoon. There's Blake Fitzgerald. He's been terrific all year, really. Best in 8 of 15 games. He is able to find Cam Wild with his kick. Cam Wild opts to go to the middle of the ground here. Sievers in good spot. And Sievers takes the mark ahead of Tom Hurd. Handball receive coming from Johnson, who's always lively. His left foot kick towards the pocket's got a 2-on-1 in favour of Hurstbridge. Out the back is Glenn. Can he pick it up cleanly? Now he's under more pressure. It spills out the back, but no one able to get the space. Is there a dragging here? Yes, there is. Greensborough all over it. And it's going to be a free kick in favour of, I think Brody Glenn may take this. No, it's going to be a handball and a play on to Brody Glenn, who's missed to the right and a behind for Greensborough. Probably not necessary there.
Very bizarre. Jamie Smith was the one who was going to line up for goal, and Brody Glenn was just lurking. However, didn't really have any time to form a proper shot, and it's a costly error for Greensborough.
So Will Cookson then will retrieve. He's got it at half back for Hurstbridge. A kick just gets over the man on the mark. Almost worked in favour of Dane Middleton, but he'll win a free kick for a front on contact. He's got the Clace as a running man, but he's going to switch this ball all the way to Jack Stewart, and Jack Stewart can play on inside 50. Anderson, tough one to get to. He was sandwiched in between two Greensborough defenders, and in the end Campbell Walsh with the intercept mark. And that's a dangerous kick in its own right. It's going to be one back here by Hurd. He gets it to Anderson. Hurd on the paint of 50. That's a good ball to Cam Wild, and straight away he turned his back and said, yep, I'm having a shot, thanks.
Very confident considering, he's just about on the paint of the boundary line here, and he'll kick just beyond the 50-metre arc, but he turned his back straight away, so he's obviously got a lot of confidence that he can slot this one through for the Bridges.
So Cam Wild to bring this margin out to 15 points. It'd be a great kick if he can nail it. It's coming in, it's missing to the right, and was never looking likely. But it does sneak through for a behind. And that brings the margin back out to 10 points. It's 6-10. He plays 5-6. 7 minutes into the third term. Greensborough's captain, Jack Johnston again with ball in hand. Not confident with the kick out. Goes towards where the big man can fly, and Smith. No problems at all with that mark. Aiton Delaney can be at a handball receive. Ignores him. Smith called to play on. Has nowhere to go but deep inside 50. Great contest. Few players flying for that one and a couple of sore bodies. But we'll have a stoppage instead. Particularly Fisher there, who was sore. He's put his body on the line a few times today. Tap from Howard. Does the ball spill out of the contest? Umpire says, I'll try again. Howard up against Wild. Both rucks getting a tap. O'Sullivan got it away. And a chance now for Walsh, who sends that ball towards half forward. Good mark by Marty Fitzgerald. 45-degree angle, 50 out from home. He's going to send this one to the top of the goal square. Can Smith lurk? He got hands onto it. Brody Glenn, front and centre. That's somehow evaded two Hurstbridge defenders. Or has it? Umpires are converging here. It looked very close to the hands of two Hurstbridge defenders with that snap-on goal. It did bounce through the big sticks. The umpires are just double-checking if this Brody Glenn goal is indeed just that. Hurstbridge defenders were adamant that it did hit the hands. Particularly Mitch Hymas was one that was certain it went off his hands. It's all clear for a goal. So Brody Glenn is the first multiple goal kicker of the afternoon. And Greensborough moved to 6-6-42. Hurstbridge 6-10-46. The margin back to 4 points.
Brody Glenn just showing his pedigree there. He found space. He wasn't picked up by a Hurstbridge defender, and they just had the poise to just wait for the ball to come to ground. And then just by the barest of margin, getting it over the two Hurstbridge defenders. And he's one of those players, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, that can break the game open. He's got that spark, and he's showing it now at such a pivotal time.
2 goals for Brody Glenn as we're back in the middle. Game still right in the balance here. As we get another stoppage, you can see the intensity of the game just starting to rise a little bit as well. That ball not going anywhere again. Harry O'Brien doing some work in the middle. That might be handy for the Bridges too to get him involved a little bit more. Big leap there from Howard. He got the tap. Ferranato read the ball best and got another clearance here for Greensborough. They sent it inside 50. Misreading that one in the air though was Richards. Here's a chance there and a great tackle laid on Ben Fisher. And it's Hurstbridge that win the ball back. That was well done. So they're going to clear it away. Richards goes by hand, and then that kick is too wide. You can hear the Greensborough fans on the outer side really getting involved.
The ball ricochets into the Greensborough bench there, hence the sarcastic cries.
So Ben Ham, the first goal kicker today, he's just going to chip this one to the pocket. Smith was a target there, but it didn't get to him. Hurstbridge with numbers, but they can't get rid of the footy. Umpire says I'll have it.
Hurstbridge have a couple times just showed a bit of nerves, just coming out of their defensive 50. They've just got to watch and just have a bit more composure.
Well, Howard tried to do one too much there, and Smith it was instead, in fact, and holding the ball is the call. So Hurstbridge just need to compose themselves here a little bit. They can sense that the Borough have all the momentum in this contest as it stands. So a high ball is now kicked towards centre wing. Naylor can fly, so did McFawn. Ball hits the deck. A lot of numbers around this footy. It eventually spills its way to Bowes. Bowes on the left just keeps that in play, but that's out of bounds on the full. Naylor just a bit worse for wear as he gets up. He is okay, but he's copped a bit of a heavy hit in that contest.
Hurstbridge very much locked into their defensive 50 at the moment. They're just trying to barrel the ball out, but we know how good Greensborough's defence can be, so they're just doing great work to lock themselves in here.
Bit of work there for O'Brien to get to that footy, but he does take the mark. Still deep in defensive 50 at Hurstbridge. They'll try the broadcast side. Again, DeClace has a one-on-one that he fancies, but he dropped the mark. Now Ben Ham. Get it over to McCubbin. He does. Now Panham with the left. That kick smothered, though, by Middleton. Chance here again for DeClace. Just got the ball away. And then Hurd found a teammate, and they clear it away towards Naylor, who was held without the footy. Naylor, very quick with the boot. He's got a one-on-one deep inside 50. It's Hurd that can fly. Johnston, outstanding intercept mark. He'd be close to double digits in that category today, the captain. It's been excellent again. That clearing kick, dangerous. Barbera made a good contest of it. It's going to be McCubbin of the James variety, who sends a high ball towards half forward. Fisher going back with the flight. Didn't get to anywhere near his teammates for now. Bouncing ball will work for Hurstbridge. They clear their lines well. And the mark taken here by the Goldie, who's going to switch this footy. Well, the mark was dropped, and now Greensborough can make them pay if they get clean air. They can't. The intensity of this game, Tim, has just risen to another level.
It's gone up, that's for sure, and that's when you can't afford simple skill errors if you're Hurstbridge.
Smith, excellent tap. Now chance here on goal. That's a very high kick from Ben Fisher, who almost marked his own footy. Smith was pretty much the only one in that ruck contest. Got a good 30-metre hit out, I reckon. Fisher all on his own. Didn't get the kick right at all. Went across the face, and he almost marked it himself. Set a boundary throw-in on the broadcast side, deep inside 50 for the Borough, who are sensing a goal to put them back in front here. As the ball gets tossed up. Two-handed tap. Chance here again for Fisher. Now Hurstbridge are adamant again that this one is touched, and it was touched. The field umpire has said it was touched, and it is a behind. So it's now 6-7-43 Greensborough. Hurstbridge is 16-46.
Greensborough just want to find an opportunity and just get on the end of a goal here, because they've had all the dominance thus far in this quarter, but they just need to find a way to capitalise now.
So Hymas will clear for the Bridges. Still in defensive 50 though. They'll opt to go towards the pavilion side. Very high ball. Augusta's going to be the target here. A lot of flies. Augusta actually stayed down and almost took the mark. Plain just keeps that ball in play. No, he doesn't. They may have almost been out if he had have, because O'Brien was able to receive a footy, but boundary throw-in instead, centre wing, pavilion side. The margin is 3 points. 6-7 to 6-10 in favour of the home side. Ball gets tossed up. At the back of the pack is Johnston. Does well to get it over to Money. Now James McCubbin in the middle of the ground. Can switch this ball as he goes inside 50. It's a one-on-one that almost works out for the Borough. Ball hits the deck. In there is Ham. He just got the handball away. Or is Sullivan. He's got numbers out wide if they can get it to him. He can't. We'll have a ball up. Umpire happy to get things going immediately. No rucks going at it. Bowes at the back of the pack, caught high. I think it was a ruck infringement free kick anyway. That's going to go Greensborough's way, or maybe even a blocking free, but nonetheless, it's in Greensborough's hands and in the hands of Brodie Glenn, who is going to be lining up for a third here.
Certainly is, and he's really been the pivotal and dangerous Greensborough forward thus far. And this, it'd just about beyond his range, I reckon.
To put the Borough in front at the 15.5-minute mark of this third term. Glenn comes in. Is that going to come back enough? It certainly has. 2 goals in the third term for Greensborough's Brodie Glenn has put his side in front again. 7-7-49, plays 6-10-46. He's got 3 now for the match. And maybe that is the goal that gives the Borough the opportunity to break the game open.
Oh, this centre clearance just becomes so much more important. It was Hurstbridge who had the dominance in that second term out of the centre, but it's been Greensborough thus far, and Ferronato, especially out of this centre, has been looking so dominant. Hurstbridge need to find a way to stop it.
It's a tap here from Jake Wild. Hasler just got the kick away. The Clace has to impact. He got a hand onto it, but it still works out for Greensborough. Panham running onto this is Marty Fitzgerald. He's tackled by Cookson, though, and did not dispose of the footy correctly, according to the umpire. So Hurstbridge win it back. They're now behind in this contest. Cookson at true centre-half back. Gets it all the way to true centre-half forward. Anderson, that's a great mark on the pressure from Hart. Anderson swings around towards the pocket. Naylor. Take it to the bank every time you get Naylor in front like that, and he will mark.
Brilliant. Anderson just wheeled and goed, and Naylor, who was leading so strongly, getting on the end of it with such speed for a big man. And this would answer it right back, and such an important goal. Lining up to the left or to the right of the pavilion. Sure, a few Hurstbridge fans giving him pieces of advice as he strolls in.
A kick from about maybe right on 50 or just inside, actually. Naylor has missed. And they move now to 6-11-47 Hurstbridge to 7-7-49. The difference is just 2 points. But Hurstbridge, 17 scoring shots, Greensborough 14. But it is the hosted trail.
Both sides have been so good at locking the ball in as well.
Oh, just as you say that, the kick almost intercepted by Naylor, who didn't see it coming, and then laid a big tackle to win the footy back. That is excellent from a key forward. They're going to play on as well. And, wow, it's a behind for Hurstbridge. They were desperate for a push in the back, as I think it was Jake Wild that went for the kick. But it's now a 1 point ball game after all of that. It was Cam Wild, in fact. Wild. So just as you were saying, the exits have been good. Let's try again. Jack Johnston. This time he'll go to the broadcast side. A couple of flyers here that need to be done, and the only one that really went up in the end was James McCubbin. Not far away from time on in this third term. McCubbin with a high twirling ball towards half forward. A bit of a late, early leap, I should say, from Jake Richards, has gifted his opponent the footy. So it's going to go into the hands of Ben Fisher.
Brodie Glenn's lurking around this contest at the top of Greensborough's goal square.
Fisher sends it to that direction. Smith getting hands onto it. There he is, that man, Glenn. Called it perfectly, Tim. He's got a 4th goal. And Greensborough extend their margin to 7 points. 8-7-55 to 6-12-48. That is 3 third quarter goals from Brodie Glenn. And he's proving to be the difference right now as we tick towards the 20-minute mark of the third term.
I think the Hurstbridge defenders giving Brodie Glenn far too much space there. He was commanding around that full forward position, just waiting for the ball to crumb down to ground. And that is such a pivotal goal for Greensborough. Almost into time on now of this third term.
Back in the middle then, Howard to Panham. Can't get boot to ball. So it's a 4-goal third term for Greensborough. No one's kicked more in a term so far today. Howard again dominating in the ruck now. He's won just about every hit out in this third term. His numbers pile around the contest, and the umpire says holding the footy. So this is where the Bridges can get an opportunity. So they will start the running game. They go towards half forward with this kick. A good one to the Goldie, who's just outside 50. Doesn't feel like he's too confident with the kick, so he just sends it towards the Naylor direction. And another contested mark from Joel Naylor. And this time he'll hope an immediate response to a Greensborough goal is one of his own. Still looking for his second major. As he starts his approach, bit of a tight angle, only a couple of metres away from the boundary line, but he's only kicking from about 15 to 20 metres out from goal. Naylor has missed across the face.
That's a let-off, big let-off there, because that was a pretty straightforward shot.
1-3, I think, now for Joel Naylor. The margin is an even 1 goal.
That's right, but he's proving to be so damaging. You can't leave him in a one-on-one, it seems. Greensborough really struggling to contain him.
Johnston to centre wing on the broadcast side. Good kick. Mark dropped on that occasion by O'Sullivan. We'll go again. 22 minutes gone. 1-4 to 4-2 in this quarter. In Greensborough's favour, seen him take the lead. At the back of the contest is again Ferranato. Has nowhere to go this time. Ball's going to get tossed up. Howard taps it out, but it's going to go straight to the Clace, who tries to get away from Hasler. He dropped the footy almost. Still works out for Hurstbridge. Wild. Chance here for, I think it's Hymas with the footy. It's Fitzgerald who goes to Naylor again. Doesn't get to him this time. Good work from McFawn. Another boundary throw-in. Deep inside 50 for Hurstbridge.
That's where you look for the small forwards to come into their element. You can see Tom Hurd lurking around this contest as well, trying to get free.
Almost there for Wild. Boss says, I'll have it again. Tap from Howard. Cleared away by Panham. Bouncing ball outside defensive 50. The Clace should get there first. It's picked up by a teammate anyway. They get it all the way to Hurd. Hurd 60 out from goal. He's going to send this one. He's got a couple of options. Mark drops from Stewart. Still a chance. Agosta picked it up in the end and has got a behind. Another point for Hurstbridge. 1-5 for the quarter. 6-14 for the game. And they trail by 5 points as Johnston clears it away and finds Ben Money. And just his 5th game of the year in the seniors, Ben Money drives it down the line. 2 Greensborough men flew up. None of them took the mark. Now Stewart, he's in a bit of trouble. That's Jack Stewart. It spills away. There's Sievers now. He's driven to the ground. Umpire says thanks. And there's a bit going on between Fitzgerald, Panham and Stewart.
Intensity's risen a lot in the last couple of minutes. Both sides know how important a late goal here would be in this third term.
That ball again not going anywhere as we tick towards now. We're past the 24-minute mark of this third term. 5 points of difference. Howard slaps it to the back of the contest looking for Panham, but he won't get there first. Now Fitzgerald, the Blake variety's bumped over the line. Umpire just trying to calm some things down. So be Wild of the Jake variety and Nathan Howard to do battle in this ruck contest once again between wing and half forward for Greensborough. Howard gets the tap and we'll have another stoppage.
And Howard's proven to be such a physical presence in the ruck to deal with for Wild.
Howard gets the tap. Be cleared away by Hasler. Bouncing ball towards half forward. Doesn't get to Zach McCubbin. Is that a high free kick? Umpire lets it roll. This is Cam Wild now. Gets it towards the Naylor direction. Again, Joel Naylor. Unstoppable in the air. Just needs to convert and get in front of the big sticks.
Puts his hands up and says, I'm going to take this kick. And what an important one it would be. His opponent, Will McFawn, has had a difficult quarter matching up against Naylor and his explosiveness in the forward 50. What a pivotal moment this might be.
To put Hurstbridge in front by a point, heading towards three-quarter time for his second goal of the game. Naylor directly in front, 50 metres out from goal. Look how that one means to him. And Naylor puts Hurstbridge in front. 7:14.56. Greensborough 8:7.55. 1 point difference. 26 minutes into the third term. That meant a lot to Joel Naylor with his second goal.
Yeah, and it's hard to figure out how you put a stop to Joel Naylor when he's in a mood like this. He's up and about. Greensborough look like they've tried to put him in a 2-on-1 situation. They do have the tall defenders. Angus Sievers back there. Jack Johnson, of course. Will McFawn is the lineup still at the moment, but he's really finding it tough.
Ferranato got a clearance, although not effective. Here comes the Clace the other way, but he lost the footy. And now Greensborough on the move. Ham, he goes towards half forward with his kick. It's a beauty. He finds Zach McCubbin. Man on the mark, still 60 out. McCubbin searches with a big kick inside 50. Going back with his Wild. Hasler tried to claim the mark. He still might have a chance to goal. And he's missed. There's a whistle though. Is it a free or a behind? It is a behind. And it means that scores are level. 8:56, 7:14.56. 27 and a quarter minutes gone, third term. Hymas clears it away. Interesting kick, works for DeClace. We're in for a big last quarter here. Particularly if the scores stay like this. DeClace to a one-on-one. Naylor versus Sievers. Naylor out the back. Just gets the kick away in time. Bouncing ball at work for Anderson here. It's getting towards the goal line. Johnson doesn't want to concede. Handballs it away to Sievers. Johnson kept running, but he lost it. Great tackle coming from Hurstbridge, and a throw is the call. Magnificent.
Huge statement tackle there from Darcy Stewart against the opposition captain. Johnson almost got free, but Stewart was able to do a secondary tackle and gets the benefit of a set shot. It'll be tough. He's hugged on the boundary line. Should kick from about 30 metres out.
Any score puts him in front. He's already kicked one today, Darcy Stewart. This would be a tough set shot. 40 to 45 metres out is the kick. Only metres away from the boundary line. Right in front of our commentary position. He's missed, and he has registered a behind. They are now 7:15.57 to 8:56. We're now into the 29-minute mark of this third term. They clear it away. Naylor almost intercepted. Here comes Ham. DeClace punches it forward. Still a chance for Naylor. Can he get the handball away? Just did in the nick of time. Still a chance for Stewart here. Bouncing ball towards the boundary line. Was he held without the footy? Fitzgerald, DeClace. That was out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in with just moments remaining in this third term.
A lot of intensity in it now. You'd think on this side of the ground, just outside Hurstbridge's forward 50 arc, they're probably the only ones who can score from here in this third term.
Boundary throw-in comes in. There's your siren for what was a very entertaining third term. We are in for a ripping final quarter as both sides just remind each other of what's at stake in this massive clash in Melbourne Greyhounds Division 1. What a monumental final term we have in store Tim McDougall, it is Hurstbridge that will take a 1 point lead into three-quarter time. 7:15:57 to 8:56. And this has been a marvellous contest up until this point.
Oh, this is what the end of the season is all about. It's exciting. Everything on the line, and you feel it. Both sides know just how important this fixture is. And it was a bit of a topsy-turvy kind of quarter for both sides. Hurstbridge getting that momentum back at the very end with Naylor scoring a goal after missing a couple of times. And as for Greensborough, they'd be disappointed they couldn't put a few more on the board, especially at the start of that third term, because they were the more impressive of the sides. But it's really become a bit of an arm wrestle at this point. Looking through the list, it's your leaders who are standing up. For Hurstbridge, Will Cookson, been brilliant throughout that midfield, kind of close. And of course for Greensborough, you can't not mention Brodie Glenn, really broke that game open. I think it was 3 goals for the term. And it's going to be a ripping final quarter of football here, and it feels finals-like.
Yeah, absolutely. Do not go anywhere. Big final term to come. It is Hurstbridge that lead at the final change by just 1 point at Ben Freelay Oval. You're listening